It's a crazy, mixed up world that we're living in right now, and I want to help you navigate it. Coming up next on Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. It's our mug of the month, it's a t shirt, and it's our free poster download. And it says, I thought that looked strange. It was upside down. Don't be a dumb sheep. Yes. And that's our mug of the month, our poster of the month. And of course, in the mug, we have our Headbangers Brew coffee. And you can get all of our swag right here. We are metalwearfamily.com. Dear Pastor Bob, I'm a hairdresser in Los Angeles. Before lockdown, I had 8 little girls as clients, ages 10 through 17. I've been cutting their hair since their first haircut. They were all girls that liked boys. And after lockdown, 18 months of school at home watching Tic Toc and video games, one is still a girl that likes boys. Her parents didn't let her watch Tic Toc. One is still a girl, but now she is bisexual. One is now a boy. 5 are now they or them. All have said it's from Tic Toc or video games, so let me recap, she says. Before lockdown, 8 girls. After lockdown, 2 are girls. 1 is bisexual. 6 are not girls anymore. Boy clients are still boys, though one of them just told me that at his Catholic school, 2 boys are now its. They go by it instead of boy. I just keep praying for them. This society is evil and brainwashing our children. And I'm just one hairdresser. It's my concern too. It's the reason that we're doing this series, to be honest with you. Because we really need to wake up and help this world navigate in the correct direction. Now, I've been warning people about TikTok for a long time. The purpose, the people that own it, do not have good intentions. Do your homework. But these days, when you look at social media, and if you're a little older, you assume that all the kids and everybody's on Facebook and, those things that we're doing, and they're not. Most of the young people are on Instagram and especially TikTok. You look at those things and you look at the influence and what they're being told and what kinds of lies and lifestyles are being propagated, and it's pretty alarming. And it's not uncommon that this happens, sadly. So where are we going from here? And as parents, all of you who are parents, what are you doing to keep your kids safe, to point out what's going on, and what kind of influence do they have? Well, I want to go to Scripture right away today. And we're going to go to Romans chapter 12, verse 2 once again. But I want to read it in a couple different translations. And the first one is the New Living Translation. And it says, don't copy the behavior and the customs of this world. And when you're a child, when you're growing up, when you're learning, you copy the things around you because you are still styling your own way of doing things, your own personality. And it says, don't copy the customs of the world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. If you're a parent today, Of course, the one thing you want for your kids is for them to know God's will for their life and to fall in love with Jesus Christ. But what happens when you have this kind of competition? Yeah. And their peers are falling for the same thing. Very alarming. I want to read this from the Message commentary. And it says, so here's what I want you to do, God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for Him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking, which is exactly what's going on. And kids don't have the ability to process. Don't let it squeeze you into its mold. Don't fit into it without even thinking about it, without even questioning it. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what He wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you, develops well-formed maturity in you. One of my biggest concerns for not only our country but our world is that the younger folks are being squeezed into a mold that is taking them in a completely different direction from God. And many who once claimed that they were Christians are saying, I'm not a Christian anymore, I don't believe in that, and they're embracing a culture that is squeezing them into a mold. Peer pressure, whatever it might be, but still, we're losing them. So I want you to take what I have to say today very soberly. I want to thank my friend who's the hairdresser for writing to me and giving me her heart for this. But I get these kinds of messages all the time. And I see it going on, and I see what's happening. And there are certain things you should not allow in your home. This is not the only social media that we talked about today that you ought to restrict. There are many others. Because you are in charge of what your child is learning and the person that they are becoming. Really important. Well, we're going to continue on this. Don't be a dumb sheep. Don't be a dumb sheep, be an informed one. And be a proactive one. Don't forget you are blessed, so go and be a blessing.
Subscribe to our newsletter at sanctuaryinternational.com.